Hello, everyone. Welcome in this expert talk show. So, today we will have our expert, uh, Dr. Rini Bahal, who will speak on workplace environment that appeals to the Gen Z workforce. Nowadays this Gen Z word is very much in boom and it's very difficult to tackle with them. So, uh, Dr. Rini Bahal will speak on how to tackle them, how to motivate them, how to nurture them, how to make them uh, champion for the organization. Before we invite Dr. Rini, do share this session, do subscribe our YouTube the channel Vipul the Wonderful, press the bell icon, and if you're watching it on LinkedIn, then follow us on LinkedIn to get the regular updates. So let us invite our expert of the day.
Hi,
Hi.
Vipul. Hi. Hello, everyone.
Yes, Dr. Rini, thank you
Thank,
for joining in.
thank you. Thank you so much for invitation. It is a pleasure
Yeah,
to be
we are
here.
in fact thankful to you for accepting our invitation and giving your precious time and knowledge as well. So,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, no
So
problem.
yes, let us start the session and let me give a brief intro about Dr. Rini Bahal. Dr. Rini is having rich experience in HR domain, and uh, today we have her with us to talk on Gen Z at workflows. So before we start the session, I would like to know more about you and your life journey. So please let us know more about yourself and your life journey, please.
Thank you so much, Vipul, and the audience who are watching us for inviting me on this session. And I thank Vipul that it is a very interesting topic to talk about Gen Z because this is the talk of the town these days.
True, agree.
Right. And about me, before we jump to the discussion, I am Dr. Rini Bahal. I carry over more than 14 years of experience into HR and L&D fraternity, and I have been associated with industries like automotive, IT, FMCG, and academic sectors. I also am, a kind of board member in a university to design their academic, curricular program.
Wow.
So before they come to the management program, so I am just a person or a board member who gives the heads up that yes, this curriculum is actually industry mapped, so that there is no difference between what they get into academic field and when they come out to work. Otherwise they will just have a theoretical knowledge but no practical exposure.
Wow.
So a run through this I'm doing on honorary basis. But otherwise, yes, as an HR I am functioning currently into an IT organization, and before this I carry an association with academic and other sectors, like I've said.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
amazing. You are doing great, Dr. Rini. So let us
Thank
start the
you.
session, and
Definitely.
let us start the session with the very first question of the day. So,
Hmm.
what are some key characteristics that makes a workplace appealing to the Gen Z employees?
All right. So when we talk about Gen Z, I would before coming up to this answer, I would first introduce that there are several kinds of generations in today's environment that we are associated with. So one is we say as Y generation, which are people born before 1981. Okay, they still are working, so they are very senior. They carry I would say the equal number of experience as the age of Gen Z's. All right.
Wow,
So there is a generation Y, there is a generation X working with us. Then there is a Y, which we call it as millennials now. So the ones who are born after 1981 till 1996, if I'm not wrong. So these are this is the period in which if you're born, then we call them as millennials. This generation is generally a very fast pacing and adapting things and adapting digitalization and getting things done very quickly is what this generation believes in. Then of course we have generation Z, that we call it as Gen Z nowadays, working with us. So they are even forward because when they grew up, they have actually grown up in an era with mobile. So
true.
millennials did not get a chance, or they were not fortunate to take a birth with mobile. But Gen Z's are the generations who have taken birth with mobile. So all the parents are again a dual income people, whereas millennials, they are more or less, we are single handedly run
True.
by our parents as
True.
far as income source is concerned. So Gen Z, when we talk about, they talk more about logic. They talk more about the priorities have been changing from generation to generation. So if you say that generation X used to work for money, generation Y work for luxury, so they work for something else, right? For them, every Gen Z will talk about their own passion, their own way of defining and living their own life, because they are raised up in that way. All
True.
right. So when we talk about what can appeal Gen Z to work in the workforce, so I would say that there should be a lot of flexibility. There should they don't believe in time foundation, so their task should be task bounded. As much as flexibility you give to Z, they will be equally productive to you, right?
True.
All these kinds of new things that we have seen, that all the pandemic has taught all of us, that giving flexibility, giving remote working environment, giving all kind of support that actually results into the productivity of Gen Z's, will actually the kind of less giving remote working environment. That is how they call it, define work life balance. So their time should be more on how productive they are. So task management, if we do these, it would actually help them, and bring up the workforce. That workforce actually finds them more attractive and to these kinds of workforce.
Wow, great answer. So they Gen Zs are the generation of today's era. So they need flexibility. They should be task oriented, not time oriented. Very true. So perfect. So moving on to the next question.
Yes.
So how we can how can organization
Hmm.
use technology to engage and connect with Gen Z employees?
Oh, very nice question. Actually, very relevant. As I told you, that Gen Zs are the generation who are born in technology, right? So I would say that if an organization can create or help them to connect socially, so using all the social media platform or digitally connected to each other, within the organization, so they should not feel that I am. Even if the location is physically or geographically remote, but the connection between them should be just one ping away. So whatever internal mode of communication they would want to use, an organization can actually unfold that, and help Gen Z's to connect with each other and use a lot of new technologies. Also nowadays, we have gamifications in learning and development, so these kind of technologies are actually something that Gen Z's are interested in and they look forward to. So I think that would help for the organization to get them engaged.
So the right word is gamification. That is
Gamification in terms of learning and development.
yeah.
Otherwise, the usage of social media platform, any digital medium to get connected would help them.
So what is gamification? Because if you can elaborate it, what is gamification by
So
giving any
gamification
example?
so gamification is kind of introductions of game in terms of technology, which can be used for learning and development. So for upskilling purpose, of course, this can help Gen Z's,
Wow, great.
right?
So the next question is how can companies create a sense of purpose and meaning in the work Gen Z employees do?
So when we talk about Gen Z, I would say that workplace should also have their mission and vision statement, which has some or the other purpose, because nowadays Gen Z's live for, a purpose. So all those philanthropic philosophies and all that, if any initiative from the organization is, with a purpose or for a purpose, I think Gen Z's would be the first one to come and stand with that, right? Also involving them into decision making and having a collaborative work help the organizations to get Gen Z's involved in a kind of process.
So, one of the last question: how can companies foster a culture of continuous learning to keep Gen Z employees engaged and motivated? If you can, explain by any examples.
Yes, sure. I would. I think this is my area of interest also as far as learning is concerned. So continuous learning is what nowadays Gen Z who are employed are looking at. They always believe in investing in learning and development and then upskilling themselves. So they value the organizations who actually invest into learning and development and their growth. So nowadays, we have a lot of LMS platform, which is learning management system, which actually helps e-learning kind of platform. The learnings can be in the self learning mode at as their pace, so that they are not forced to learn, they're not forced to sit, but they can enjoy learning and upskilling themselves as per their wish and will,
Wow.
right? So if an organization does invest in all these kind of technologies, like continuous learning, upskilling themselves through e-learning or self-learning portal, or through gamification learning, then yes, this will definitely attract Gen Z's.
Wow, that's great. So,
Yes.
can you give any one or two examples of this uh, right culture or any right practice you have implemented in your organization, or you have suggested in any of your colleges or anything like.
Correct. So we can say that, for a leadership, if you talk about, then there are a lot of leadership programs run by one of the premium institutes like IIMs and XLRIs and all that. So as far as succession planning or something like that is concerned, and if you have an identified next gen leader with you, but they have to undergo the leadership training program, if an organization invest into all this, sending them to 3 days or 5 days or a course of program as per the designed by the I mean by the platform which gives the learning, can help them to modify. Apart from that, um, an organization can also do a tie up or can purchase a licensed version of learning and development platforms like Udemy, LinkedIn learnings, likewise.
Likewise, there are many
Yes.
many
There
options
are many
available.
portals. There are many portals. The ones which actually satisfies the needs of the individuals working with the organization, plus the organization's business needs. So both has to be on the win-win situation.
True,
So that
true.
will help both of them.
Very true, very true.
Yes.
So yeah, that was amazing. We got to know so many things about what Gen Z is, how they can be motivated, that how they can be trained, and so that organization gets most of out of them.
Definitely.
So any let's conclude the session with your final words, any anecdotes or any examples, or any final advice for the Gen Z if you would like to give.
So I would only suggest that these days, if the organization wants to excel and grow, so they had the millennials working with them, who were easy to manage, and they were somewhat, I can say, uh, you know uh, an adjustable workforce. All right. But now, these generation X has given birth to a technology generation, which is generation Y. And now, with this era and moving forward, if an organization really wants to excel with a success, okay, they have to mold themselves. So when we talk about generations, since we are talking about generations here, so I always get this from my family members, that if there are two generations, okay, which have to adjust with themselves, the the earlier generation has to adjust more than the current ones. So it can come to me also in future, and Gen Z's will also turn Gen Y to their future generations, right? So it's like the
True.
chain of cycle. So whosoever is currently Gen Z, the previous generation will have to adopt and adapt to sustain and to succeed. That is what I would want to say. Thank you.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. So, yeah, we got to know so many things. Thank you so much, audience. You can connect with Dr. Rini Bahal on our LinkedIn ID. We have shown here,
Thank
as well
you.
as we have put up the link in the description as well. So you can connect with her. You can ask any of your queries to her. She'll be happy to help you. And once
Definitely.
again, thank you so much for joining in today and sharing your valuable knowledge. And see you again with some different HR related topic. And yeah, thank you so much. Stay blessed.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Happy to connect. Bye
Yeah.
bye. Take
Bye
care.
bye. Yes, so audience, this was for today. Hope you have got to know so many things about Gen Z. And yes, ऐसे ही हम मिलते रहेंगे डिफरेंट डिफरेंट इंडस्ट्री एक्सपर्ट के साथ. सो जुड़े रहिए हमसे. सब्सक्राइब आवर यूट्यूब चैनल विपुल द वंडरफुल. प्रेस द बेल आइकॉन to get our regular updates. And do follow us on LinkedIn if you are watching there to get our regular updates. So audience, this session was powered by Post Resume. We are into middle and senior level recruitment services across India and Africa, especially for engineering, manufacturing, pharma, IT, and textile industry only. So do connect with us if you're looking for any career guidance or looking for any talent acquisition for your organization. So stay blessed, keep smiling, take care. See you with some different industry expert. Thank you.